No, you're fine.
Cool. Shit. This is a really pretty tree.
Yeah, move it where, hey, if you want to, just pull that door that's behind you and just shove that thing in there.
Is that okay? 'Cause I'm about to-
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate it.
He has a few, are you guest here?
Oh, what's up, man?
Oh, okay.
Just don't worry about the dead bodies or
I was
anything.
about to say. Starting to smell it.
The skeletons, just move them out of the way, it's all good.
That's not where I was
Put
told
it
they
behind
are.
the chair,
What?
the tree.
The tree behind the chair. You think that would look good? Just add to it a little bit?
It really would.
Decorative
Can we put the tree behind the chair?
Behind the chair.
Can we put the tree behind the chair?
tree behind the chair.
Let's name him on next book.
Right. Tonight's my game strategy. Tonight's my game strategy.
My legs might fall asleep, but
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I have a feeling this isn't gonna take
As long
long.
as you promise me you're gonna stay right there. Rather they get real numb. We might have to watch you walk around.
That'll just be special B-roll.
Yeah, that'll be a little extra video.
You really need to get you a little stand, you know that.
That, I know, someday I'll have more fortune than fame. Yeah, exactly.
Here, just let go. Let me see. No way. Why would they do that to you? Why wouldn't they just make it where it can stand up? I don't know if mine can.
Right.
Come on.
This is Android.
Samsung.
Wasn't that a Steve Perry song?
Yeah.
Glad somebody brought a light.
Yeah. Get a little bit of something. Stillness out of it.
Well, I have 27 viewers watching me try to prop up my phone. 28. Oh, yeah. See, that's the way to prop it up right there.
Don't make him fall. No.
These-
More than
Yeah, that's gold.
These are not parting gifts.
They're heavy enough, they won't slide.
This
once you
oughta-
get set. Use what you have.
Alright, oh yeah. Ah, I can do my yoga now. Man, I feel special.
You should.
Who needs fortune when you have bullets propping up your camera?
You won't notice, right? I'm just gonna take one of those cases with
Oh yeah.
You won't notice.
Put it on the black market.
Yeah. 45 keeps us in 230s at all.
Yes.
I'll do some damage.
I was in London last studying English. University of London.
Okay, I'm Lieutenant Courtney. I'm the PIO for Swain County. Sheriff's going to give a brief statement, and then we'll open for a few questions. After that, once he leaves, I'll hang around. If y'all got anything else I can do to help you, then we'll go from there, okay? Everybody ready? Set up. All right.
Again, I want to thank y'all for being here. The reason why I called this news conference is to inform y'all of what happened Saturday night. I made a mistake. I'm human, and I apologize to the citizens of Saline County, because nothing like this will ever happen again. Also, my hat goes off to the Benton Police Department for for doing their job. It just goes to show people in Saline County that no one is above the law, not even the sheriff. I take full responsibilities for my action. And, you know, I broke a rule. I will pay my tickets because, number one, I was always raised that if you do something wrong and you get caught, you have to pay the consequences. What my intentions are to do now is to continue to run this sheriff's office, to make it a safe place for all our citizens to live here, raise them here, and go to school. Again, it was a bad judgment call on my behalf and no one else. Although I did text a friend to come pick me up because I wasn't going to drive. But unfortunately, or fortunately, the Benton Police Department arrived on scene first. I wasn't charged with public intoxication. I was charged with breaking the rule of drinking in public and failure to submit to arrest. For those charges, I'm guilty, and I'll pay my fines, and we'll go on. But I can reassure the citizens of Saline County, a mistake like this will never happen again because of my poor judgment. You know, at this time, I'll open it up for questions.
Did you drink and drive at all on Saturday night?
No.
And you had no intentions to drink and
No,
drive
sir.
on Saturday?
No, sir. I've been in law enforcement 40 years, spent 24 years as a state police officer, and no, I would never drink and drive. I wouldn't endanger anyone like that.
Do you plan on taking any time off after this and hiatus at all, or are you going right back on the job?
I'm coming right back to the job, you know. It's one of those things, hey, I made a mistake. I'm human, I'll pay for it, you know, but I'm gonna continue, you know. I didn't run for this. I called this news conference because I wanted y'all to hear me, you know, so that's where I'm at.
Sheriff Pennington, couldn't you have texted from inside the restaurant, a friend to come pick you up?
Well, I felt that I needed to leave, so I went to my vehicle and texted from there. And no time was a key in the ignition or anything, because if you're intoxicated and you have the keys in the ignition, you can be charged with DWI. And, you know, I wasn't going to do that at all. I could have just easily had driven off, but I wasn't going to put any public in harm's way.
Then address the belligerents after the police arrived.
Well, you know, if you've been drinking, my ride, the person I had texted showed up, and I was wanting to go with him. And Lieutenant Castle, dear friend of mine, known him, worked with him for years. He did his job, and I'm proud of him. You know, so that's the reason why that was.
Did they give you a sobriety test?
Oh, no, sir. No.
Have you ever had a charge like this in your past?
I've never had a charge. Well, I did have a speeding ticket one time when I was a trooper. I was coming through Shelby County over in Memphis and got a speeding ticket, but that's all I've ever had.
I know you weren't in your right mind, you said, but they did give you an opportunity to call someone to come get you. You say he was already there. Can you tell us what kind of transpired, I guess, when you were trying to leave with him?
I was just belligerent, you know. I couldn't tell you how many DWIs I have arrested in my career, and I've never seen one that was just really happy to be there, you know, and I guess that's probably my frame of mind at the time. I do apologize. Folks, it wasn't anybody that put themselves in this position but me, and I stand accountable for it. You know I do. And nothing like this will ever happen again in my lifetime.
We talked to some residents yesterday, and we explained to them that you were, as soon as you were brought to the police station or shortly afterwards, you were released to go with a friend. We kind of asked people around if they thought that they would have had the same privilege to do that, and a lot of people said no.
Well, I can tell you this, that they were misdemeanor charges. I have personally, in my career, let people have someone come and get them on a misdemeanor. You know, at no time did I ask for any preferential treatment, nor did I receive any. I mean, it's an officer's call whether or not to let someone come get you. Like I said, I've done it. Every officer's done it.
And we know they didn't bring you to the jail, but they did hold you for nearly 4 hours at the Benton PD, right?
I don't think it was 4 hours. I'm not sure at the time. I didn't have a watch on. But I had to, and it wasn't a friend that came and got me, it was my nephew. So he had to drive on the other side of Little Rock.
Sheriff, were you with Arkansas State Police in 1997?
I can't remember when I retired.
Can you give me a comment on the investigation that was launched in 97, I believe, against you?
It was in 96.
96 for
Yes.
drinking and driving on the job?
Yeah, but that was never validated. No, that was false. And the reason why that came about, at the time I was married, and this trooper ended up, my wife left me for him, and so he was trying to do anything and everything he could at the time by making accusations, but there was nothing founded.
There was no penalty that was never validated?
No.
Sheriff, just to confirm, you said there was no breathalyzer administered, anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay.
And I wasn't charged with public intoxication.
Do you believe you have a drinking problem?
No, sir, I do not have. I do not.
Why was it put into the statement that Benton PD released that you were charged with public intox?
I don't know, but I got the citations and I wasn't charged with that.
Can you say it again, what the official charges were? I'm sorry.
It was drinking in public and failure to submit to arrest. You know, it's not a resisting arrest, it's just kind of like saying, hey, I don't want to go, you know, but I stand accountable for my actions. And again, I do apologize to the citizens of Saline County, and we're going to go forward from here.
So you were not relieved of your duties with the Arkansas State Police?
No. I went through an investigation and was placed on administrative leave, and then I retired, you know, bottom line.
Sheriff, what took you to Denton Saturday night? Was there a celebration, or was there any sort of things going on in your personal life at all?
No, not at all. I had worked in the yard all day, hadn't eaten all day, and I drove by. I thought, well, I'll get something to eat, and they were quite busy, so I had 2 drinks, and that's where I ended up.
So 2 drinks put you in that state?
Well, if you don't drink all the time, and you haven't eaten all day, and you worked out in the yard all day, it's just what set it over.
Did you go to dinner alone, or did somebody go with you and then leave?
No, I was by myself. Any more questions? I do appreciate y'all coming. I just wanted to put this out there. And again, I'm human, made a mistake in judgment, as we all have at some point in time. But being in the position as sheriff in any county, something like this happens, you know, it draws a lot more attention, and I accept that. Anything else? Again, I appreciate y'all. I've got a job to do right after I go cry.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thanks for talking to us.
I want to. Thank you.
Can we ask you a couple questions?
You can ask.
You want to just sit down? You want to just sit down right there?
Do you guys want to
Is
answer any? Whatever y'all need. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to answer or not. I'm not trying to stonewall or anything. It just depends on what questions you want to ask. Oh, you want me to sit? So
I believe since everybody's stuff's there, you guys okay with that?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
We ready?
No. I'm gonna guess.
I'm confused, or I guess I'm wondering the jurisdiction here. If someone were to launch any sort of an internal investigation, would that come from the county judge? Who kind of oversees the sheriff in this chain?
Since he's an elected official, honestly, I don't know. I have not researched it, and I honestly can't give you anything.
How did you find out about this? Who gave you the initial call? What time was that?
Actually, I started getting calls from you guys, is how I got an inkling of what was going on.
Recently, in another county, the state Supreme Court just ruled that because of a charge that sheriff had, that he could no longer hold his position.
Correct.
And I was looking back on that story, and it quoted the state constitution, which says anyone convicted of blah, 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 or other infamous crime can't hold an office of trust or profit. I don't know if you know, but does that play a role here at all? I mean, I don't know if infamous crime would include this, or?
The deal is, at this point in time, I'm not qualified to answer that question because I don't know. That would have to be answered by someone else other than me. This department would probably not be involved in that investigation or that determination at all. It's not something that we would be responsible for. It would have to be somebody outside this department and probably of a higher authority than what we have.
And you haven't been contacted at all about any investigation into the matter?
I have not been contacted, no.
Or has the department?
As far as I know, I would probably be notified, and I'm not aware of anything.
And am I right that this own department won't do an internal investigation or anything?
No.
Okay.
What about the community and their ability to see their sheriff as a person of stature in the community?
That you would need to contact, you would need to talk to the citizens of the county. I can't answer that.
Does the department plan to do anything to sort of address that as far as the people being able to see him as a law-abiding citizen?
And I'm not trying to put this off, that would be something that the sheriff would have to work on as far as how the community sees him. The department as a whole is still the Saline County Sheriff's Department. We're still upholding laws of the state and the ordinance of the county, and we do that to the best of our ability. As far as one individual in the department does not affect the whole in the entire department. Everybody done? Good?
You good, Justin?
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Any questions?
Yeah,
Thanks, Courtney.
let's